Hey guys, welcome to Gales. I've actually got a few female subscribers, so I can't say guys anymore, so let's just say persons, just to be politically correct. Well, anyway, welcome back to my garage. As I said in my last video, I was going to start a sanding station and modify the existing sanding station I should say. I haven't got the plywood and the materials for it yet. So this week I've been kind of busy with the dump truck and working and stuff, so in my spare time I've just been putting a few jigs together. And I thought I'd share a couple of newer jigs that I've made for the shop. Anyway, let's walk over to the table saw. And I took the wing of my new saw, it's a Delta 36725, and I made a router table for it. This is not my design or my idea. I found it on a video online. I don't remember the guy's name, but anyway, I'm giving him credit. If anybody knows whose it is, basically it's just a piece of 3/4 inch plywood with a 1/2 inch piece of plywood glued and screwed to the side of it, and then that is bolted into the wing of the table saw. The underneath of it is indented. I took my handy dandy Harbor Freight trim router and trimmed a circle out. I took the original faceplate from the router and used it to trace the circle, and then I used that magnifying light that I got at a garage sale for $5 and shone it down on there and looked through that big magnifier, and I was able to cut a pretty decent circle with that trim router all the way around, and then I just ate the middle of it. About 3/8 of an inch. That gives the router more height up on top of the table. The hole, I just cut it out the size of the nut on the collet, so I could raise it up if I need to, so the nut wouldn't hit the bottom of the plywood. Also, I made a dust collection jig. Nothing real fancy. I have a strip of wood here on the bottom so I can clamp it to the fence. It just sits down in here. It's kind of a tight fit. This moves around back and forth and it's open so you can tighten it down. This slides back and forth like this. I got to put some wax on it yet. It's still a little bit tight. And then this, you can put your hose in here, through here, adjust it where you want it, the height of it, and then clamp it down. It's like a little hose clamp. And then you can just tighten that down. You can also spin it around if I wanted to. If I ever had a zero clearance insert or something on my table saw, or even if I was cutting a bunch of stuff off my my sled. I probably wouldn't be able to use it on the sled because of the fence. But I could bring it over here and put it on top of my blade if I wanted to. So, and also, I could even use it in other places, like at the sanding station or the other router table or something like that. As long as I have this piece, it's real versatile. I can clamp it just about anywhere I need it. So, I've used it a couple times. It does the job. I've used the router a couple times. As a matter of fact, I used this router table to cut these slots for the jig, and it worked just fine. So anyway, that's my router table for the table saw. So now I have 2 router tables. Actually, I have 3 router tables. I have an old iron Sears router table that I've had for years. The router went on it a long time ago, but for some reason I'm bent on not throwing away that little steel router table. I figured maybe someday I could use it for something. But and then I have, of course, the newer Craftsman over there, and I use it quite a bit. But I thought this would be just handy if I had to do some rabbet joints or something like that. It's right here next to the table saw and already set up. So anyway, let's go over here back to this camera. A couple of weeks ago I did a review of the Harbor Freight pocket hole jig apparatus that they have, that they're selling. It's a whole lot cheaper than the blue one, and it's made out of plastic. I made this little platform on it, and I kept this part of here open, so if I want to clamp it down to the table, I can just take it to the edge and clamp it down. I put all the accessories in a little fishing container, fishing tackle box that I had. And I've got the step bits, the screw thing, all my screws, accessories, the little Allen wrench, stuff like that, and the instruction book. I kept the instruction book in it too. And then I also made a little positive close. I didn't want to trust these little clamps, plastic clasps, because I made a couple holes on the top right here, so I can hang it up on my pegboard. A hole right here and a hole right here. And I didn't have this tight. There we go. So anyway, so when it hangs up, I don't have to worry about those little plastic things coming undone. I made a little positive hold down for the lid. Also made a little piece right here to put the little accessory that came with the jig, just to keep it in place. That way everything is where I need it, and everything is handy, so I can just pick it up and start using it. So that's my Harbor Freight pocket hole jig, and then this is my contraption for dust control on my drill press. I've got a turnbuckle right here that moves back and forth, and I have a picture of this. I'll put a picture up while I'm talking about it. And this actually goes around the crank handle, where the crank handle mounts to the frame of the drill, and then this clamps it down tight. This goes around the column, and then these joints are all I wouldn't call them loose, but I can adjust them. And then once they're adjusted where I want it, then then I can pull this out and get it closer to the bit if I need to. And it seems to work pretty good. I'll put it on the drill press here in a minute, and you guys can see it in action. Okay, I've got it set up on my drill press. Let me find a piece of wood that I can drill into. I guess I can use this scrap. I like it mounted to the table itself. I saw some people mount it to the shafts and stuff, but I like the idea of it lowering and raising with the table. That way it's always on your workpiece. So let's put a bit in it. We'll make some real dust. We'll put a spade bit in it. I guess I should have probably had all this ready before I started the video, but I didn't. Like I said, it's early in the morning because I want to do this while it's halfway cool in here. I hadn't had all my coffee yet, so I ain't thinking straight yet. But I'll maybe edit some of this stuff out so you all don't have to watch me doing all this. Now I can take these tubes and adjust them a little bit to where I want it. And then this piece will slide in and out on this, so if I want to get it closer to the bit, I can. Okay, let's take our little piece. Also, I was at Ace Hardware the other day and found this little remote control for an outlet for lights and stuff, but I rigged it up to my vacuum cleaner. So I usually keep it on hanging on my table saw, So when I'm ready to saw or something, I can just hit the button. And when we're off, it's actually got 2 channels for 2 different pieces of equipment. Works good. It was only 10 bucks. So if you get tired of having to walk over to your vacuum cleaner every time you're ready to saw something, this might be the solution for you. Alright, let's see how it works. This is going to be loud, so I'll probably shut the sound off and voice over it when I'm editing. And of course, it would really help a lot better if I actually hooked the vacuum cleaner up to the dust collection. Duh! My invention wasn't working, but it has to be hooked up. I told you, unless I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning, I'm just not ready to do it. So you'll just have to bear with me. And as you can see, I don't have a whole lot of dust on the table. Most of it went into the vacuum, so actually it works pretty good. I keep these joints loose. I didn't glue anything down. That way I have a little bit of adjustment back here, and I can put it where I want it. Like I said, I can move this in and out if I want it actually closer to the material, or if I got a bigger piece of material or something and I need to, I can move it back or just take it completely off. Anyway, it seems to work pretty good. The mounting system is nice and tight, and that's my version of dust collection for my drill press. I made a circle jig for the bandsaw. I've been wanting one for a while. There had been occasions where I've had to cut out circles and I've just had to use a jigsaw to do it. And this design is actually a compilation of 3 or 4 videos that I saw online, and kind of took the best ideas out of all of them and made this one. The adjustment mechanism just slides in and out. I made 30-degree, kind of like French cleat, 30-degree angles on both sides, and then also on the baseboards. So when you want to adjust the size of your circle, you just slide it in and out, get it adjusted where you want it, and clamp it down. It's very simple. Also, I'll have to turn the camera around and to show you the other part of it. Okay, here is a adjustment. When you cut your circle, you want that centering pin to be just behind the back of the blade, cutting edge of the blade. And this is what adjusts that. I can loosen it up and move it forward if I want to, or move it back. That's what this here does. And then I can lock it into place, and it keeps the pin in line with the blade. Also, I made a little keeper for my drill bit. Since this drill bit fits this pin, I'm going to dedicate this drill bit just for the circle jig. and I just made a little holder here on the side. That way, anytime I use it, I always know where the bit's going to be. And we'll also demo this real quick. I'll put the camera back over where it was, and y'all can see how well it works. It gives me 2 camera shots, and let's see how well that works. First thing I'm going to do is decide what size circle that I want. So I'm going to go from the center of the pin and loosen that up, pull the clamp out, and let's say I want a 4-inch hole, 4-inch circle, which means I'm going to put the pin, the center of the pin, exactly 2 inches from the blade. And then when the blade cuts, it'll give me the 4-inch circle. So if you want like a 6-inch circle, you would adjust it to 3 inches. If you wanted an 8-inch circle, you'd have to adjust it to the 4 inches. Take that, clamp it down. I haven't done this yet. I think I'm going to cut this board in half before, otherwise it may hit that clamp. My piece is a little bit too big, so let's cut that in half. We'll just eyeball it. Okay. Put the circle jig back on. Also, I made a runner on the bottom here. That's what holds it to the table saw. I forgot to mention that earlier. And this really sucks. Okay. I'm going to take and drill myself a hole in the center of where I want the circle to be. And for this demonstration, we're just going to kind of put it right in the middle. If I can get it started. Okay, now we got our holes built. Move that back so we can put it on the pin. You gotta find the hole first. Okay, so now when we start, we're just going to drill saw into the material, and then when we get to that stop that I showed you earlier, where it hits up against the table, that's when we'll start making the circle. Like that. And once you're done, just pull it back off the blade. And except for the very end right here, where it just comes off the wood, you just got to kind of sand it down. But there's a perfect 4-inch circle. So that's my circle jig. Alright, that's all I have for you today. Just wanted to show you a few of the jigs that I made. If it seemed a little bit choppy and unorganized, that's because it was choppy and unorganized. I'll try to edit it and clean it up the best I can when I put all this together. And if it doesn't work out and I have to do it over again, you guys will never know it anyway. So we'll see you next time. When I start that, probably next week, I'll start the sanding station, and we'll start shooting some video on that. So until next time, please subscribe to my channel. I'm close to 100 subscribers. I know that's not very much compared to Steve Ramsey or Izzy Swan or all those, but if I can get over 100 subscribers, I'd be happy. So help me out, okay? And we'll see you next time.